Yo, what's good? It's your man 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Today I want to do a video about the Charlotte Hornets and is LaMelo Ball ready to lead this team into the playoffs? If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. This has been a long time coming doing this video. The last time I did a video on LaMelo Ball, I was contrasting him with Tyrese Halliburton. And I think I said explicitly, in fact, I know I said explicitly, Tyrese Halliburton was not just a better player, but he was going to have a better career. Tyrese Halliburton understands winning, and he applies his skills and his talent to winning and maximizes it. LaMelo Ball is still learning to do so. LaMelo Ball, for the beginning of his career, the first few seasons, I would say there's been a good amount of course, competing to win. He's an extremely competitive player, but he's also enjoyed having fun and playing with the game. And when I say playing with the game, I mean having fun doing step-back threes, having fun throwing risky passes, having fun going for his, even if it means being an inefficient scorer or shooter. And I know that some of us might say, well, hey, he hasn't had the talent around him to be able to, not have to shoulder such an offensive burden and take such risky shots. Well, I would ask you, who has Tyrese Halliburton had around him for the past couple seasons in Indiana? Who has he had? And yet, he leads the NBA in assists. And yet, his team always seems to outperform the expectations, or at least the talent that's on the floor. I don't think there's too many players in his starting five that would be starting for most other playoff teams, and yet they are competing for a playoff spot. But that's besides the point. LaMelo Ball is now on a team that is no longer about development. It's no longer about seeing what these young guys can do. It's no longer about just being exciting with him throwing lobs to Miles Bridges. That ship has sailed. There's no more seeing what James Bouknight can do. There's no trying to see if this young guy can potentially be. It is now about winning. With P.J. Washington committed to for the future. You got guys like Terry Rozier locked in. The revelation of Mark Williams to be a potentially dominant franchise center for the future is there. And he's looking great. You've got other young guys like J.T. Thor around him, Theo Maledon. You've got a solid team and veterans like Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier who know how to steer the ship in the right way, know what it means to play for a playoff team. And now, most importantly, they have a coach who can hold each and every one of them accountable, even LaMelo Ball. You know, some people discount Steve Clifford as a coach. I think he does an amazing job. He's proven to me that he can take an average team and maximize their potential and get them into the playoffs. He did, I believe, 3 years in a row with the Orlando Magic, with the star player being Nikola Vucevic. Guys like Evan Fournier, Terrence Ross, all right, Aaron Gordon before he exploded next to Nikola Jokic. All right, they had some pretty average, mundane guys, some guys who aren't even in rotation minutes right now. And yet, he got them into the playoffs. And how did he do so? He held them accountable. He held them accountable to what they could control, minimizing turnovers, minimizing cheap fouls, making sure that they understood their assignments, held them accountable for being in the right place on defense, and running an efficient offense that maximized the talent on that team. And that's exactly what Steve Clifford is doing with these Charlotte Hornets. Now with lottery pick Brandon Miller on this roster as well, you begin to see it all come together. But the big question mark is LaMelo Ball ready to lead them into the playoffs? I think it was something to behold the other night against the Dallas Mavericks, how competitive they were. In fact, they were leading against the Dallas Mavericks, who I believe are tied for the best record in the NBA. They're now 6-1. At the time, 5-1. And yet they were beating them through efficiency. They're beating them by not beating themselves. They were taking quality shots. They were defending at a high level, rebounding, getting out in transition, executing the offense, doing the things that winning playoff teams do. But now when it comes to LaMelo Ball, I think what was really interesting is in the second half, I think he was having really a very poor game offensively in terms of scoring. He was picking his spots, taking his time, not trying to press or rush things in the first half, even in the third quarter. But suddenly when he got to the fourth quarter, he found his shot. He found his way, and he began to explode. He hit three after three after three and went back and forth with Luka Doncic. Now, somebody should have told him, don't poke the bear when it comes to Luka. Don't do it. Just don't say nothing. Don't give him anything to take personal, because that boy is a bad dude. He's one of the top 5. And so you don't necessarily want to go at him. But at the same time, do your thing. Do your thing. But something that I noticed was that LaMelo Ball, as he was turning it on, there came a point where I was questioning, was he going to remember to keep his team involved? The same team that had given them the lead throughout most of the game when he wasn't shooting well. And to my surprise and my appreciation, he actually turned that corner and got his team involved so that he was not only carrying them offensively, but bringing them along with him. And this is a huge factor when it comes to leadership, is that even if you have it going, you still recognize that everyone else wants to shoot too. Everyone else on the court needs to stay warm, needs to stay a threat. And you cannot sustain carrying a team for an entire quarter, let alone in the fourth quarter when things get tight. And despite the Charlotte Hornets losing that game, what it showed me is that LaMelo Ball just might be ready. But there's some other things that he's going to have to shore up. He can no longer be a putrid defender. He can no longer be someone to get picked on by the opposing offense. He can no longer look at his teammates who are competing for a playoff spot, who are giving it their all, who are defending, who are in the right place, in the right spot, doing their assignment, and he not give 100% effort in closing out and moving his feet and not picking up a cheap foul, reaching in, making sure that he's rotating. You see, it's those little things that appear to be unimportant in the moment, things that he used to be able to get away with previous coaches, that if he is going to lead this team into the playoffs, he cannot be that guy. He cannot be that type of leader who only leads on one end of the court and leaves his team hanging on the other end of the court. But at the end of the day, I want to know what you all think. Do you think LaMelo Ball is ready to lead the Charlotte Hornets into the playoffs? If you do, holler at me in the comment section. If you don't, holler at me in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And I'm going to get at y'all next time. Peace.